spent way too much time researching to find the top 12 waiver wire targets so you could get a head start on your league mates before they even find out about these dudes. We believe every NBA fan should play fantasy basketball. The first player we want to take a look at is Dennis Jenkins from the Detroit Pistons. When I tell you, your man is out here cooking with hot bacon grease. I mean, he is on fire right now. Only rostered in 7% of ESPN leagues. And since Cade Cunningham has been banged up, your man has been taking advantage of the opportunity. Since Cade has been out, Jenkins is averaging 21 points per game. Let that sink in. 7.5 assists and 6 rebounds over the last couple of games. He's undrafted in 2024. He breaks out in 2025. This is wild, Joe. I think this might have been a great pickup for Detroit. And honestly, sometimes we have these scenarios where a player wasn't necessarily meant to, come out and make any real noise. But then because of an injury, they get a clear path to opportunity. And you know what we like to say around here. Top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the freaking wind. Your man is taking advantage of this opportunity. Now, it's worth noting that I don't believe he'll have this level of value once Cade returns. However, I think with Jaden Ivey being out, there's still an opportunity in that backcourt for him to have some standalone value. But while Cade is out, as long as he's out, he is definitely a player we want to take a look at. From the Dallas Mavericks, Brandon Williams. This dude should not be on anybody's waiver wire right now. Only rostered in 12% of ESPN leagues. And over the last few games, your man has been cooking with oxtail oil. He is out here just flaming up the joint. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 28 minutes per game, 14.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and check this out, 5.7 assists per game. And there's more, 2 steals per game. Let that sink all the way in. Your man Brandon Williams is finally filling the void left by Kyrie Irving. They've been testing King Cooper flag at the point. They've been doing all kinds of wonky stuff, but actually putting this young man in the driver's seat has proven to be successful thus far. I think they'll continue to run this play of having him be their point guard. And honestly, there are multiple teammates of his that are still out. So he's going to have a larger role, and his minutes have been up to 30 plus over the last few games. And obviously, as stated earlier, his assists are super valuable. This is the type of guy that can help you in points leagues, category leagues, if you're in a lock-in mode league, or if you're playing in YAHOO high score. I think he's the type of player that will contribute across the board in multiple categories, but especially with those assists. He's had at least 3 assists in 3 of his last 6 games. And one game, he even had 9 assists. And he can be the type of person that could shift the balance of power in your league. Before we jump back into the show, I want to give a big shout out to Fantasy RoundUp, one of the most elite resources and tools for fantasy managers who are trying to dominate this season and for years to come. You know how it is. You got your waiver wire priority, but you don't want to burn it on a player that might hit and might miss. So what you do is you set your alarm clock for like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up before your league mates to grab that player without having to burn your waiver priority. What if I told you there was a way to do that in an automated workflow so you can actually sleep through the night? Let's jump into Fantasy RoundUp and I'll show you how it works. So here we are on Fantasy RoundUp. I have it connected to my ESPN account. You can also connect it to your Yahoo. As you can see here, my team is totally stacked. I got Wemby, I got Amin Thompson. This is an 8-team league, so I got tons of great players. But let's say there's somebody on the waiver wire that I actually want to grab. I click Auto Waiver here. Once I click Auto Waiver, you'll see my roster, and I decide which players I would like to drop from my team. I have two Duns, guys who are done. I got Ryan Dunn, finished, and Chris Dunn, finished. And then you just click on the bottom here where it says select players to add. So here we are in the waiver wire free agent pool. There are a couple of players that I've been looking at, and I want to make sure I can secure them without burning my waiver priority. The first one is Matas Buzeles, who is available. And then we have Kevin Porter Jr. All I have to do now is schedule the swap. As you can see here, I have the swap scheduled for November 9th at 3 a.m. Now I just click review and confirm. I give it one last check, and after that, I click confirm swap. So no more waking up at 3 a.m. to go sneak and grab players off the waiver wire. You can let the system do it for you. And the great news, Fantasy Roundup is offering a 7-day free trial. So you can try this out yourself. If you decide that you want to keep it long-term, it's only $6 a month. You'll find more info in the pinned comment and the description below. Or just visit fsroundup.com. Check it out and start your free trial today. Your future self and your fantasy record will thank you. Now let's get back to the show. The next waiver wire target we want to take a look at is from the Atlanta Hawks. It's your boy, Vit Krejci. Now this is a guy we talked about last season, and this is honestly the first time we've mentioned him this year. But it's someone we're familiar with. If you know a little bit about the show, we are based here in the Atlanta metro area. So we love the Hawks. I am not a fan of any one team, but I love my local hometown Hawks squad. And this conversation might be a little bit deeper than just Vit Krejci, but let's start with him. He's only rostered in 5.3% of ESPN leagues. So he's widely available, right? He's played in 32 minutes, scored 20 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals off the bench in his last game. So he's cooking up. At the time of recording this, he's recently on a bit of a tear. But in his last 4 games, he's averaged 19 points a game, 1.3 steals, and nearly 5 3-pointers per game. Also dishing out 2.5 assists and shooting 63% from the field. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Trae Young is out. So obviously there is a need for some backcourt play, right? And this is a guy you can stream, and I think he can kind of fill a hole. But the big picture with the Hawks that I'm thinking about is these dudes are cooking without Trae Young. Huh? Like, your men's in them is out here producing and winning. The other day, Jalen Johnson had like an epic, like record-breaking type of performance. He almost had 100 fantasy points. He's the first player to produce a certain amount of statistics. I don't have them in front of me, but just know that in Atlanta right now, the news is, are the Hawks better without Trae Young? And if, in fact, something happens where Trae Young is moved, or if they move him for a player that is not a guard, if they move him for a player like, let's say, Anthony Davis or somebody, a big man, right? Vit Krejci could have crazy long-term value. So I think if he gets the opportunity, over the last 7 days, he's averaging 27.7 minutes per game. When he gets the opportunity, he produces. And if Trae Young somehow, if the Hawks move on from this dude, this could be huge for Vit Krejci's long-term value. The next waiver wire target we want to take a look at is Max Christie. Now, this is not the sexiest name on this list, but it's undeniable that your man is out here producing. Only rostered in 13% of ESPN leagues. Over the last 7 days, your man is averaging 33.7 minutes per game. Consistent, favorable work. This is the type of player that should be on someone's roster right now. He's startable just about every single week. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 11.7 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists, 0.7 steals. But check this out. Come close. 1.7 blocks per game. Your man is standing on business. If he's available, definitely take a look at your man, Max Christie. From the Phoenix Suns, Royce O'Neal. Now, again, this is not a crazy name, right? This is something that, Royce O'Neal, what? But I just did a top 100 episode recently. I'll share it a little later on in the episode, but check this out. At the time, your man was in the top 100. I just checked. he's at 115 according to hashtag basketball's default rankings, right, for points leagues, but still very valuable. Check this out. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 24.7 minutes per game, 10.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 0.7 steals per game. He's consistently producing. Now, will he be a long-term hold for your season? You might want to consider it if he is not your worst player, right? If he's your second to worst or your third to worst, you might hold him there if he's producing. But if you need to open up a streaming spot, he's definitely a player that you can kind of cycle in and out. But someone we want to pay attention to with the departure of Kevin Durant, there's tons of opportunity at the 3 and even at the 4. Another player who's taken advantage of Kevin Durant's departure, Dillon the Villain Brooks. Now, I've never really been a Dillon Brooks fan. I've always respected like his approach. He was kind of like hard-nosed and tough, and he would stand up in people's face. I was always intrigued by that in his Memphis days. But the way he's producing right now, I am all for it. I am with all of the Dillon Brooks smoke. If he's available on the waiver wire, it's somebody you want to take a look at. So he's only rostered in 41% of ESPN leagues. He was banged up with a groin injury that kept him out, but since he's been back, he's been cooking up, y'all. Over the last 4 games, he's averaging 21 points per game, 2.3 steals, 2.3 threes and 1.3 steals. He's making it rain, right, from deep. And also, if you're looking for points, if you're looking for threes, if you're looking for steals, and if you want a player who's getting the minutes, take a look at Dillon the Villain Brooks. And this one right here, we've been waiting for this moment. From the Utah Jazz, Ace Bailey. Now, Ace is from the Georgia area, so we got a lot of love for him here, and we just been waiting for him to get the opportunity. He's been starting the last 3 games due to injuries and illness, but I don't think he's going to let go of this opportunity. He's averaging 16 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1.5 steals during this period. So look for him to continue to produce, only rostered in 35.5% of ESPN leagues. And for dynasty players, right? So if you're in a dynasty league and if for some reason this man is available on your waiver wire, you want to act now with no hesitations and pick up Ace Bailey. From the New York Knicks, Jordan Clarkson. Jalen Brunson is out with a grade 1 ankle sprain, so we don't know how long that's going to take for him to come back, but just know during this time, there are going to be Knicks players who are going off. The other night, we had Landry Shamet go off. And recently, your man, Jordan Clarkson, had himself a game. He went for, on the 14th of November against Miami, he went for 33 minutes, which is tons of opportunity, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, right? Total of 46 fantasy points. Your man was out here doing his numbers. And I'm telling you, they're going to continue to give Jordan Clarkson some opportunity because, as you know, if you've played fantasy, if your man gets the minutes, he can produce. He scored at least 11 points in the last 3 games with at least 18 or more minutes, and he continues to get the opportunity. So if you need a streamer this week, definitely take a look at Jordan Clarkson. Now, we all know the Memphis Grizzlies are imploding. It is a hot mess over there. When we talk about hot dog water with the brat worst residue, your man Ja with the blicky on live stream on Facebook Live Morant is stinking up the joint in so many different ways. But there is a ray of light. There is a ray of hope in the form of my man, Vince Williams. When I tell you, Vince Williams is getting a bit of an opportunity and he's taking advantage of it. Your man is only rostered in 0.4% of ESPN leagues, right? And he got a spot start recently with some players being out, injured, illnesses. But check this out. Your man is shooting 100% from the free throw line this season at the time of recording this episode. Let that sink in. If you're in a category league and you're struggling when it comes to free throws, this is a player that you need to like stop, pause this video right now and go grab him immediately, right? In the last 7 days, he's averaging 22.5 minutes per game, up from his season average of 19.3. In the last 7, he's also averaging 9.3 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and about a half a steal. So he is producing, again, a streaming opportunity. I don't think he's a long-term hold at this point, but it just warms my heart to see Vince Williams out here providing some fantasy value. Next up, from the Detroit Pistons, Paul Reed. Now, this is an oldie but goodie, but your man Paul Reed is back like he never left. He's stepping up with Duren injured. And honestly, the thing that blew my mind was a game he had recently against Chicago. Your man went for 28 points and 13 rebounds. Huh? Like, where they do that at? We talking about Paul Reed. He's getting 25 plus minutes with these starts. And until the Pistons are fully healthy again, this is somebody you just want to keep on running that play. Pick up Paul Reed today. Next up, from the Sacramento Kings, Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis has been getting some opportunities due to some injuries. He hasn't had a real super big breakout, but he did hit 6 threes in a game recently. And in another game, he had 3 3-pointers. They're going to lean on him, right? He has experience. He's been a producer in the past. And I think right now they need him more than ever. In the last 7 days, he's averaging 19.8 minutes per game, 9.3 points, 1 rebound, 0.8 assists. But check this out, 1.8 steals per game. He's also averaging 1.5 steals on a season. So if you want to stream him just for steals, that's fine. For points leagues players, you can still get some steady output for him, but definitely just a streamable option. I wouldn't look at him as a long-term hold. From the New Orleans Pelicans, Herbert Jones. Now, the Pels, like, they just fired their coach. Like, Zion is banged up. There are not many good things happening in New Orleans for this basketball team. But what I would say, when you talk about fantasy and you talk about streaming, you talk about filling those voids throughout a week so you can get an advantage on your opponent, Herb Jones is the player that you want to look at. He's the type of player, I should say, that you want to look at. Only rostered in 18% of ESPN leagues. And I know he's known for like defensive stats, but he can also put up some points. In the last 7 days, he's been really putting up some decent numbers, averaging 32.3 minutes per game, which is a great signal. We always say if you get the minutes, the production typically follows. 10.3 points per game. Yes. 2.7 rebounds. Maybe. 3.3 assists and 1 steal per game. So if Herb Jones is on your roster, he's definitely the type of player that you'll add for a stream, and then you probably drop him for someone else later. Now that you know the top waiver wire pickups for week 5, check out this episode with our top 100.